to episode 3 of my Camp America series. Today is going to be interview and tips that I recommend you do before your interview. Sorry, my whole family is home. My mom's here, my dad's here, my brother's still here, so it's going to be a bit noisy, but I'm going to try and keep the noise level to a minimum because this is something that I want to get across to you guys. And if you are going on camps or if you want to do Camp America, I highly recommend it, and I haven't even been to camp yet. So yeah, today is going to be about going to your interview and tips on what I recommend and what I've heard other people say. So the order that a lot of people do it is quite odd, but it just depends on obviously the order you do. So I did my application first, like all in all. I will do a screen recording now of it. It'll be over here. So people do usually do their order a bit different. Obviously it just depends on how you work and how you want to work. So if you guys can see, this is the Camp America site. When you log on to my Camp America, so this is what you see. I'm obviously gone to the recruitment fairs and I've kind of done up to the police checks, but that'll be in the next few videos. So this is what you will see. This is the home, and this is just obviously my home. You can see my little photo here. And if I go into my application, this is all of my application. You can see this is done. So obviously before you get all of this done, there won't be any ticks, but I have done it. So I did my full application before my interview. So I did application, interview, recruitment fair, being hired at a recruitment fair, and then police check, visa, all of that stuff. Yeah, so it just does depend. Some people do an interview first and then complete their application and then go to a recruitment fair, get hired. But then some people also do it differently. Some people will go to a recruitment fair, then apply, get their application done, and then go to an interview. So it kind of just does get a bit weird. And then also what I found out at the recruitment fair, if you hadn't been interviewed already, I think you could get interviewed at the recruitment fair by people before you went to a camp, if that makes sense. Don't worry, it's still confusing to me. But as you guys can see, this is my Camp America, my site. So if I go to home, obviously that is my home, that is my application, but I am here for the interview. So if I click here onto my interview, I've obviously had my interview. Like I said in the beginning, I've obviously had my interview. So this wouldn't be here when you want to get an interview. So you will just go onto here, onto my interview, and then you will pick where you are in the country or where you are in other countries. But obviously I'm in Scotland, so I picked where in Scotland I am, and it picked the closest place that an interviewer could get to. There's usually about 2 or 3 interviewees per country. I don't know how many, England, Wales, all of that, but I know in Scotland they had about 3. They had one in Glasgow, one in Edinburgh, and one somewhere else, I don't know. But they obviously try go to the interview that's closest to your house, because then you don't have to travel far, because it is an interview. But yeah, you will go to an interview. You can see here, obviously mine was in the Costa in Bothwell Street at Glasgow. So I had my interview. They are available when they're not available, all of that stuff. But it is a job interview, so you do have to remember to kind of dress a little bit smarter. But obviously do remember it is a camp, so you don't want to come up in a suit and tie. But do dress smartly. Do have questions ready that you want to ask them, obviously after they've interviewed you. Highly recommend going and being confident, even though most of these people that will be interviewing you are from the country that you are living in. So the lady that interviewed me, she was from Scotland, but obviously she had done Camp America before. She had done, I think, 3 summers in America, so she has traveled and seen obviously the different cultures. But I definitely think if you have an experience in different cultures like I have a background in the Congolese culture. Not really a background, but I have seen the Congolese culture, the English culture, the Scottish culture, the South African culture, the Xhosa, the Zulu, all of that stuff. So I have seen many different cultures, and then I think that definitely helps, especially because I've heard Americans don't really travel, so definitely helps that a lot of us have traveled. Going to your interview, which is the main point. Georgia, get to the point. highly recommend going with a lot of confidence, because like I said, even though the people that you are getting interviewed are most likely aren't American, they still want to see your personality shine through and whether or not you have the right personality to work with kids. They obviously want to see that you are able to work with kids and have the right personality to work with kids, because the core of this is all obviously if you want to work with kids and you don't necessarily go into Camp America wanting to earn money, but that is another point that I don't really want to get into because obviously I once again haven't been on the camp yet. I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick little video. I am going to go back to the page on my interview so I actually know I'm giving you guys the right information. I highly recommend you going with confidence, definitely with a smile. Be prepared and know questions that you want to ask them and that they want to ask you. Have answers ready for what you think they're going to ask you in terms of like, where are you from? How's your family? Just to kind of know what you're going to say. I will see you guys next week for the recruitment fair episode, which is very exciting. See you guys next week. Bye.